The great song to Mani, O teacher of the original doctrine and the noble Jesus, we're here to honour and revere you. O my respected and eminent father, a Buddha Mani, we're here alone to magnify you with a humble heart. Be our hope and refuge, and receive the worship of each one of us. Before you we bow down with faith from deep within. May each of our prayers be pure. You told us of the consequences of evil. You blocked the road to hell, teaching good laws. You rescued 8 kinds of suffering beings, unendingly submerged in the dust of forgetting of rebirths, and in a state of poisonous savage animals. They were always mad. With the passion of greed poisoned them, and they were dying. You prepared medicine for them from the herb of meditation. Raving in the passion of anger, they were without thoughts or senses. You assembled their thoughts, and so they understood their origins. Those living beings in the 5 states of existence, you freed from ignorance, endowed with wisdom, leading them to paranirvana. Many varying passions such as hatred and bitterness troubled these thinking beings, and scattered their thought. But when you, Holy Father, descended from the heavens, the families of all thinking beings reached the peace and nirvana. We who are miserable and with no hope, who have stayed in the torment of samsara, not finding the completion of your way, you established a ladder of wisdom. You let us supersede the 5 forms of being, and you delivered us. We who were fettered in suffering were rescued from rebirth to see the Buddha-like sun god who is like you. For those attached to passing pleasure, you preached a true law. You carry them across the sea of suffering to the good nirvana. For those tied to the root of attachment to the world, you revealed the road to the realm of the Buddhas. You raised the Sumu mountain of virtue. You let them find unending happiness. For those plunged in the water of pride, you showed the bridge of the true law. You gave understanding of the good law into their hearts. You entrusted them to the holy assembly. For those confused by the 6 organs of perception, you showed the rising and falling states of being. You revealed what is the suffering of those in Nirvitsi, the deepest Buddhist hell. You allowed them rebirth in the blessed 5-fold heaven. Looking for the ways of salvation, you crossed lands and realms going in every direction. When you found the beings in need of salvation, you rescued all of them without exception. To those like us who are lazy, you preached the details of the jewel of the gospel book. We understand the ways and paths of freedom and salvation when we know them in the book. If you had not preached the pure law so fully, would the world and its thinking beings not have ended by now? After the Buddhas you went down, you attained truly incomparable Buddhahood. You saved numerous living beings, saved them from dark hell. You purged them from masterly cunning and deception, and caused them to be of help to others. You were a guide leading those in error. You saved them from the claw of the evil Mara. You rescued the malevolent. You healed the blind. You caused them to do works of honour, and showed them the right path to the land of the gods. You were born the hope and refuge of the world. You taught the 7 precious books, and held back those about to join evil, walking on foot and calling your name, praising you with their tongues. They would all love you as children who adore their mothers and fathers. Embracing them with all your great compassionate heart, you brought them great help and prosperity, not distinguishing between kin and stranger. You made them all your own. You gave counsel to countless people. With your good heart you do good to all, and through your good the afflicted overcome their sorrow. You brought them great help and prosperity in this way always. Because of your merit, you came to the fullness of Buddhahood. Through your formidable holy tongue, you generously gave the jewel of the good Lord to us, the miserable living beings. Through your great and compassionate heart, you embraced all living beings, rescuing them from the cycle of rebirth. You saved them from samsara. The blessed pure-hearted one slowly came upon insight, overcame malice, and came to the status of arhats. But pleasure, tying them to the world, gave them mastery of cunning and trickery. To these you brought help and prosperity. For those who forgot their origin, you revealed who you are, changing your form. When all living beings saw your revelation, they were inspired by the desire to be freed from the cyclic suffering of samsara. To children you came in a benevolent form, and turned them from evil and from of the world which they had fallen into. Before the blue sky of the whole kingdom, you were born as the Buddha, God of teachers. On seeing you, the living were happy, and with firm minds they no longer doubted. They obeyed your commandments. The good thoughts of their minds increased from day to day, and shone like the sun god. Their radiant knowledge shone forth. In their hearts compassion grew. They obeyed the commandment to be sinless, and escaped the ceaseless burning fires of hell. They try to keep the true law, observing the true statute, and do not fall into pure sin. They contemplate the transience of the body, and they left their houses and homes. Following the good law, they were pure in body. They made every effort to follow pure laws and avoid the dangerous places. To be reborn in the place of immortality, they observed the commandment to be pure in mouth. They all prayed for blessing, to walk along the blessed road and escape terrible samsara. They follow the commandment of blessed poverty. They recognize the transient false doctrines, and in fear of their three evil ways, they follow the three seals, to be reborn in the highest place. You agree to command them, to praise and sing hymns, to revoke their evil, to gather and meditate. The living had been confused, but when they heard your command, their virtue flowed like streams and rivers, and they were reborn in the land of the Buddhas. Other unworldly people walked in pure ways, and meditated and were reborn in the place of immortality. We bow our heads and worship before you, our highest God. May the living on earth be forever reborn in Nirvana. We worship with a devout heart. May all the living on earth escape all dangers. May they find the peace and Nirvana. So through the virtue of our praise and worship, may all holy forces of the gods above and below, and the numerous spirits be increased. Amen.